I have with me a man who has been working behind the scenes in the music business since 2007. Where were you in 2007? Maybe you were, you were hustling, yeah? Okay, he has worked with as an artist and promotions manager at Chocolate City Group, particularly on MI's Talk About It album. He moved on to Tribes Records, where he spearheaded the planning and rollout for LD The Don's Undeniable album. If you can't remember that album, it had hits like Today, just so that I bring you back, bring your memory back to that time. And more recently, he worked at Boom Play as an artist relations manager, executing over 20 major releases, 20, and securing top talents like Ill Bliss, Lakon, Hot Eyes, and Ugochi for Boom Play's Pass the Mic, before moving on to Horus Music, and was part of the significant success of the release of Vector's Early Momo featuring Good Girl LA, which was released in 2021, garnering close to 4 million streams. Now, presently, he is the senior partner at TGH Music, and that's a label services company, and is a co-partner at Indie Night Live, which is a monthly showcase for independent artists and DJs. So this man is experienced. This man has seen it all. He has pushed music when it was still in CDs, and now it has gone into digital. He is still pushing music, pushing artists, giving them a platform. Ladies and gentlemen, to discuss the artist's roadmap to success in the music industry, please welcome my guest, Obinna Agwu. Okay, good to have you on the show,
Thank
bro.
you so much, man.
Okay, so the music industry, a lot of things have changed, man, since when we were pushing CDs and releasing music, going to
Alaba. As an artist.
Yeah, I still am.
You still, but you were in a group that time.
Pin Code. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, Pin Code. That was
That's why you need to listen to this show. So much you don't know. We're going to let you know. Okay, so you've been around a long time, and of all the things to do that are popular, why did you choose to go into music promotions? How did it start for you? Just give us a background.
I mean, first of all, for some reason, I just always knew that I wanted to be in the music industry quite early on in my life. And also, I knew clearly that I didn't want to jump on stage. I knew I didn't want to be the main guy, But even before I started to learn about A&R and management and all these other people who help the artists to do what they do, I just always knew that, I wanted to work with artists, with labels, work with music and all of that. And I, as soon as I got the chance, I just threw myself into it. So yeah, you're right. I got into the business first of all as a radio plugger, so it's a long list, really, but thank you for the introduction. It was quite detailed, So stuff like P Square's Do Me.
Okay.
These boys from Enugu, I'm sure you know. Brackets, Happy Day.
Brackets, yes. We went to the same school.
Exactly, Happy Day. So that was really how I came up, just doing radio promotions, because then it wasn't really a business, but I figured I'm sure artists are trying to get to radio, and someone needs to be able to help them facilitate that whole getting to know the radio people and just making everything happen, and I started out with promotions TV. Yeah, like you said, yes. Back in the day, you would press a lot of CDs, and go around, hand everything over. But these days, you can run a pretty solid campaign without necessarily interfacing with OAPs or even touching the music. Because you can't even touch it anymore.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you mentioned that, especially the radio promos and the things that you were doing with the advent of digital streaming right now, how important or what promotional strategies are relevant now? Because I'm sure there are certain things you used to tick, like we must do this, we must do that, because this artist is rolling out. Now, if you look at your rollout plan, some things are obsolete, some things are this is what we should be doing. Can you just break that down for us?
Digital. That is where it all happens. You need to get better with your use of social media. You need to understand what people love and just how to present the music. If you notice these days, people don't really make full videos anymore unless there's like a huge demand for it, which means the music has crossed over. So these days, you just make your visuals are like adverts, so you make a 45-second stuff that is riveting enough to make someone say, I like what is happening here. I want to go listen to the full thing, so the internet is where the whole magic happens. So your promotions needs to be heavily focused on that, really.
Okay. So where do DJs come to play? Because I remember, back then when we were releasing music, you have radio station, you have DJ associations, and all of that. So what's happening now?
Honestly, I think the DJs play what is hot online. The DJs play what is hot on Spotify. The DJs play what is hot on TikTok. So not to say catch up, but it would seem like usually the traction starts from the internet, and then everybody is like, oh, okay, we can now downstream this to the club people, to the people at home. But I find that largely most of the traction starts online. Yes.
Okay. Do you think there are any downsides to just being an artist that has a viral song or viral songs? For example, these TikToks that we just hear just the snippets, and that's all we know of the song. A lot of people don't know the full song.
Exactly.
And do you think there's any negative effect it has on the artist in terms of translating that popularity to actual fan base?
You are very right. Some people are lucky, and when they have these social media moments, they are able to parlay it onto greater success. And some people like that snippet enough to go and listen to the full thing. But for some people, it doesn't quite, translate. You're big on TikTok and all of that, but do people know you elsewhere? So this is where I think management and just understanding that you must continue to push this music out. So yes, we're seeing you on TikTok, we're seeing you everywhere, but we should see you attending nightlife. We should see you attend industry night. We should see you, so that is like a physical demonstration of the product. So the internet thing, also the downside of it is that a lot of people really just end it there. But you should take the music to the marketplace. Big shout out to Adam Sray. Adam Sray is an emerging art. He's part of the whole MBA family. Last week Sunday he had his first show, small event at I have a cafe in Lekki. So what stuff like that does for you is that it's a lot of people who love you and who support you and who like what they are doing, and they are looking for ways to really wrap their arms around what you do. And yes, streaming is good, but my streaming dollars do not necessarily come to the artists that I love or the artists I want to support. But when you do shows, people can come out, pay, and come out and see you and shake hands and network and all of that. And I find that even in the social media age, that is one strategy, so to speak, that will always be useful. My biggest example for that is going to be Lagbaja. Years ago, for those of us who grew up in Lagos, at some point, that at the end of every month, all the cool people, all the people who love great music, all the people who know what's happening will converge at Motherland on Okwebi because of Lagbaja's show. So stuff like that, what it does for you is, number one, it really gives you an opportunity to hone your craft. You're not under pressure. It's your show. So you can talk, you can gist, you can sing, you can miss lines, you can, but every time you do it, you get better. But more importantly, when people gather for your sake, it makes them value what you're doing more. And like we say, grow a fan base, grow a movement, grow a following. So it's always going to be always going to be important, which is which also brings me to something that has been troubling me these days. This internet thing, yes, we want to do everything online, but it's crazy how a lot of people make music and their neighbors do not know that they're musicians. I think you should start winning from there. Your barber should know that you sing, and if possible, he should play your song in his shop. The people in your neighborhood should know what you do, and if you're able to do all these small shows here and there, do it. Or the people in your school should know what you do. So I find that the job of growing a fan base and really starting a music career is very daunting, and so many people are hoping to circumvent that process, are hoping that they put out a song and it just goes boom. Some people are going to be very lucky, but for the most for most, that is not going to be the story. You still have to build it. And
I think there's a downside to when you do circumvent that process and have a viral hit, because at the end of the day, it's difficult to sustain that hit when you don't have a fan base and you haven't been active.
Absolutely. And another thing we are seeing in this digital streaming age is that because the barrier to entry is low, so we have so much product, and also it means that people do not really put in as much time to get the whole thing out. Back in the day, you used to be a capital project to record. When you book your session, you're going to be planning 2 weeks ahead for those 8 hours, and then you get ready and you go and you do
rehearse, you learn your lines.
You rehearse, you learn your lines, you do all of that. But right now, the equipment are everywhere, which is a good thing, and you can make your music. Back then, after you make your song, then the headache now becomes, is TJ going to like this? Is Abu Ventures going to vibe with this? What will the Alaba people do? But right now, thankfully, you can just get on DistroKid right now, upload that song, and by this evening, by tomorrow, it's everywhere globally. So I find that everything is so fast paced, which means that a lot of artists are not willing to put in the amount of time and effort that proper artist development is going to take, especially and I feel for the Nigerian artists, because it's even more difficult when you live in Nigeria, where friends and family are looking at you like, this your guy works in insurance, is making money, this your guy is doing this, is making money, what is happening? So even when you feel like you are not keen into that pressure, deep down somewhere it is there, and you're just in a hurry, so people do not really want to learn instruments, people do not want to performance act, people do not want to just put in the time. And so my favorite artists in this age are the career artists, and the career artists are the people who understand the amount of work and time this is going to take, and they are willing to just patiently build it out, because it is indeed a long journey. It's not a sprint, really.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is the Music Gig. We have with us serial music manager, A&R, you can call him anything, he wears many hats, really. Obinna Agwu is in the studio with us, and we're just talking about the music generally. And I like that you touched on artist development, because that's the thing that you do. So what would it take right now to blow up an artist? What are the things you would do if you find that raw talent right now? What are the things you would do to that artist to get them ready to blow up? Okay,
first of all, as an executive, I have it at the back of my mind that, look, if this first single blows, we're lucky. So I expect this whole thing to go well, but I do not really expect that we're going to hit good the first time, or the second time, or even the third time, but every release adds up. Every year, every effort adds up and is building up to that point where it really happens for you. So it's a process that could take years, or performances, like I said, they're like a physical display of the product. And I find that sometimes when you're really, really a good performer, just off of people seeing you personally is a huge way for you to continue to push your music. Because sadly, there are times when you really like someone's song and you go to the show and they perform and they don't quite bring it.
Yes.
And
that happens.
Yeah, and you end up liking the unknown guy, the guy who you didn't know his song, but he really came there and he nailed it. So I think artists need to be very intentional about these things, their performance, their presentation, and just making sure they give a good account of themselves when they take the music out in public, really. Yeah, but like I said, I do not expect that we're going to get lucky immediately. So I'm coming in with a more patient side. That's why in recent times I have a lot of respect for Maven.
Okay.
And that's because I have been, even Rex, we've been out here for quite some time, and now we have like proper people investing in this business.
Yes.
But the truth is, years ago it was just mostly one person who likes this thing and they have some money and
True.
they want to put it down.
True.
So your whole label structure is this big man that is just giving you money, or you and your manager money.
There is no structure, really, just funds.
There is no structure. And so what you find is that after chairman does 10M, does 15 or 20, and it doesn't quite work, Madam will be at home and telling him, bros, please, you have kids, you have other things we need to do, so. But with Maven, we see that for Crayon, for example, Crayon has been on that label for some time, and they were able to support him up until this time where the music started to pick
up. Yes.
So the difference between that and what we had before was because is that before the big time, before your payday, your investor is burnt out. They don't have enough things to just sustain the whole thing, sustain the growth. So just understanding that every single adds up, every project adds up, and this one you're recording now, it might not be what is going to go boom, but it is important in the process. And if you don't do it, you're hurting yourself down the line. So just patiently building and giving yourself these timelines and targets, and just diligently look to hit it. Basically, focus on the work, really.
All right, so that's massive advice for you out there. If you're still trying to get your feet in the game, focus on the work. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Make sure you do all the things you need to do. Record your music, push yourself, keep reinventing yourself and doing all of that. And above all, make sure that your music is available all the time. Okay, so there's so much we can touch on, but we have to let you go. Yes, we definitely have to let you go. But before you do, there's something I always like us to do, to have like a tip. So what would be a pro tip for an artist right now who is coming into the game? What would your pro tip be?
First of all, so many songs are dropping, thousands of songs, and in fact in a week we have well over 60,000-70,000 songs dropping. So there is no scarcity of product. However, there's scarcity of really interesting, riveting product. So I think artists should start to have it at the back of their minds that so many people are doing this thing, I have to start winning from the studio.
Okay.
You have to start winning from the studio. So a lot of just focus on that, get the product right, record. I find that a lot of recording too is part of the development process, because the more songs you make, the more you find your voice, the more you understand who you are, the more you find clarity. Just to digress a bit, Rex, you remember years ago Vector used to sound like Jay-Z?
Yes.
Right, like very well.
It was very obvious.
Very obvious. And the way you move away from that and find your voice is you just keep doing what you do and doing what you do. So there are new artists you listen to now, and you hear Rema, you hear Victoni, you hear it's cool. Just keep doing what you're doing. Over time, it's going to get better. It's going to, you're going to be refined and just, understand what you're doing. But also just confident. You have to be confident in your product. You have to think about it deeply. You have to understand presentation, how to present the work. But more importantly, you need to understand that this is a lot of work, and you have to be patient. And yes, people like us come all the time and say, build a fan base, get a team. And yes, it takes money to get a team. So I always say, attract a team. And you attract a team when you're doing what you're doing and people really love it and they want to be a part of it. That is a better situation, more than you chasing people. Even when you chase a big manager who can call Wizkid or call MTN, sometimes they are just not going to do that for you. So you have to attract a team, do what you do, and somebody somewhere is going to see it and feel like, okay, this boy is going where I'm headed. I want to join in. I want to be a part of that movement. So be looking to attract a team.
All right, that's a fantastic way to wrap up the conversation. Be looking to attract a team. Make sure it sinks in. Your helper might just be waiting for you to, help yourself. Just put your hand out so that they can lift you up. So make sure they are not sitting around waiting for somebody to do the work for you. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you.
We'll be speaking with Obinna Agwu. He is a music executive at A&R, and he's also the senior partner at TGH Music, a label services company. Thank you so much for being